Hello everyone and welcome to GTA Online Discussion episode 2. Now in this video I want to talk a little bit more about my crew, which is the best way to play with me, and just give some general updates on how we're going to run with that as well. So for people who are already in the crew, this is actually going to be useful to you guys as well. So the footage that you're watching is just some random footage where me and a friend are just sort of messing around in free roam on GTA Online PS4 version. And for those of you who keep asking and don't know, I do have the PS4 version of GTA. That's what you're watching at the moment. So my crew is called Nonchalant Dominance. Now I've had this crew since the start of GTA Online. It's obviously had a long history, and it's obviously grown quite a lot over the course of the last year or so. So because of that, there are probably a lot of people in that crew who aren't actively playing anymore, or aren't actively watching videos anymore, or just aren't really interacting with that crew at all, and they kind of are a bit of dead wood. So what we're going to be doing is getting rid of all those and allowing new people to come in. Now the way that we're going to do that is by removing everybody from the crew, apart from the guys who have specifically mentioned that they are currently active. Now there are two main areas of the crew. There is the main Nonchalant Dominance crew, which is invite only, and then there is Nonchalant Dominance 2, which is kind of the open to everybody. Now we used Nonchalant Dominance 2 as a sort of stepping stone to the original, because obviously there wasn't any space in the original, because it was to the full 1,000 members. But we aren't going to be using Nonchalant Dominance 2 anymore. There won't be a need for it with the new system that we've got. So if you want to join my crew, if you want to play with me, you should be able to do that right now. By the time this video goes up, it will probably only have around 100-150 members, something like that. It will be open to everybody, and I will leave a link in the description that will take you to a forum post which will explain everything about the crew and link the crew itself. Now there are a few aspects of the crew that I need to sort of go over. We are on one hand a racing crew. That's what we do. We have a lot of interest in racing, obviously, because most people come from my videos, and we do like to race. But if you aren't someone who generally races, or you don't have to be a certain level or anything like that, if you're interested in playing the game with other like-minded people, you can join the crew as well. Now we do have a few rules when it comes to racing, and that is to be clean and respectful at all times. So anyone who's seen sort of driving backwards on the track in a crew race, or generally knocking people off and things like that, they will be kicked from the crew and not allowed back in. We want to keep a nice clean, consistent area for people to get some good races in, and the same goes for free roam as well. So if you're in free roam, be nice and respectful to other crew members. I don't care what you do to anybody else, but you must always be respectful to crew members, and when you're racing with them, always race cleanly as well. If you see anyone in the crew who isn't doing that, let us know, let the commissioners know, and we will sort them out. So yeah, those are the kind of quick rules, but the link that you see in the description will take you to the main sort of guidelines for the crew, and it will obviously give you a link so you can join up yourself. Now what we're calling the purge is what we're going to be doing on a regular basis to make sure we only have the most active people in the crew at any one moment. So when the crew sort of reaches 1,000 members, obviously it takes a while to get to that point, but it does happen. When it reaches 1,000 members, every single time that happens, we're going to be kicking everybody from the crew. Now that wouldn't make much of a difference to you if you were active. So as long as you're active, as long as you're sort of continually playing the game, you'll notice that you've been kicked from the crew, and because it's open to everybody, you can simply rejoin. Now this might have already happened to some people who were already in the crew, so go and check that now, and you can again simply rejoin if you want to do that. But basically what this allows us to do is keep the most active people in the crew at all times. The people who won't know about this and won't know about the fact that they've been kicked are the ones who aren't playing anymore, and it doesn't matter anyway to them. They'll get kicked from the crew, they won't know anything about it, and that'll be the end of it. So if you are active and you do get kicked, you haven't been kicked for a specific reason, you haven't done something bad. It's just that we want to make sure we only have active people in. Because the crew is now open to everybody, you can quite easily just rejoin. However, if you don't want that to happen, if you don't want to be kicked at all, you can get involved in our forums. Now the link down below will take you to a post that is on our forums, and it's on our forums where we host all our racing events. So, you know, for example, the Multi-Class Endurance Championship, that was on our forums, that was all organised on the forums. So if you want to get a bit more involved in the crew, and, you know, get involved in racing events, meet new people, all that kind of stuff, you can join up to the forum if you want. And you can also be promoted automatically to crew representative by doing a certain number of things which just show your involvement in the forum and the community itself. Now when we come to do the purge the next time and just delete everybody from the crew, if you're on the forums and you remain active, you won't be kicked. So that's the kind of the way we're going with this. People who are on the forums, people who are active in the crew all the time, won't be kicked every single time we do one of these crew purges. But it also doesn't matter if you don't want to sign up to the forums. As long as you're active, you'll notice that you've been kicked, and you can simply rejoin because it will be open to everybody from now on. So obviously this means that Nonchalant Dominance 2 is sort of going to be useless now. So if you are in Nonchalant Dominance 2, you can quite simply join the original Nonchalant Dominance. Again, it's all open. So it's, you know, it's just a better way to go and a better way to manage sort of large numbers of people in the crew. And again, you know, if we do have any issues with people sort of racing dirty or knocking people off in races, racing backwards, just generally being aggressive and, you know, in free roam and things like that, then we'll just simply ban them and they won't be able to join again. So just to point out, you know, if you are in free roam, be respectful to other crew members. The little orange symbol around the outside of a player's blip should be a sort of a safety net. You know, you can go to someone with an orange blip because you're in the same crew and you can work together and be on the same team. You aren't going to get repeatedly killed or anything like that. And again, if you do see anything like that, let us know. So yeah, basically the main point is that the crew is now open to everybody, and if you weren't sort of involved in the forums or anything like that, you may find that if you were in the crew that you have been kicked, but you can simply rejoin yourself because the crew is now open for everybody to join. Click the link in the description and that will take you to a page on our forums which will give you all the information that you need and a link to the crew so you can join up. This is the best way to play with me. You know, I generally don't accept friend requests or invites or anything like that. The best way to play with me is to join the crew. And remember that you must set it to active to play with other people. If you simply join the crew, you're not going to receive invites unless you set the crew to be your active crew. So yeah, that's basically it. I do mainly play on PS4 these days, but the crew is open to everybody. If you're on 360, PS3, the Xbox One, or even the PC when that comes out, you can join the crew and sort of play with like-minded people as well. There will always be someone to play with in the crew. It's just that I will mostly be playing on PS4 most of the time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope to see a lot of you guys who are more interested in racing join up on the crew and on our forums as well. We have a great community over there, and a lot of really great people who really enjoy their racing, and this will also be the best way to play with me if I'm streaming or anything like that. So yeah, again, just to recap, if you have found yourself that you've been kicked, so you can simply rejoin. If you weren't part of the crew already, you can simply rejoin. And yeah, all the information is linked down below in the description, so make sure to click that. Remember, links save lives, so be sure to check that description. It's all in there, and it's very important that you do. It's a matter of life or death. So thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I really appreciate the support as always, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and if you want to see what happens at the end of this video just after I leave, then I'll leave another link in the description which will show you that as well. So go and have a look at that. It's from the Tony's perspective, who I'm playing with, and it's just a funny little clip that I think you might be interested in seeing, and it happens just after I leave the game. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching again, everyone, and I'll see you soon.